Hello and welcome to the Mike from LA1 Network here on YouTube, and welcome to Road to Glory Thursdays. Wait, Road to Glory Thursday? This is not Road to Glory Thursday. Well, no it isn't. This is NBA. I'm continuing on the videos I was supposed to do yesterday, but I ran out of time because it was 10 o'clock at night when I was about to get ready for this one, but I decided to cancel it and play my old one instead. So now it is time to play the next game, which we're not skipping on toward the next game because, well, the next key game, because that's a long ways away. So we're going to be playing the next game here. As this is episode 4 of the Sallie Mae McGuillicuddy My Player Series, as we're playing Brandon Jennings and the Milwaukee Bucks. Here, as you can see, DJ is current. No, wait, Sally's. So now we're gonna, as there is the Charlotte's new road home. They are at the Time Warner Cable Arena in Charlotte, North Carolina. Epic scoreboard there. Wow, it's weird. That announcer, the PA announcer, took a long time. It's a power forward, yeah.
But you know what? In this league, it happens sometimes. Here are the starters for Milwaukee. Ilyasova and Bogut, they're inside. Jennings out there with Steven.
As now we begin Sallie Mae, but before we do that, let's scan the Time Warner Cable Arena. As you can see, there's one banner up there, which is the Charlotte logo. And there you see the bottom of the Jumbotron again. Very epic. This is also the home of the Charlotte Checkers of the American Hockey League, otherwise known as the former artist formerly known as the Albany River Rats. There's more Charlotte banners up there, and there you see the flags of each country. So that now that we got that scan out of the way, let's get started. As Sallie Mae is subbed in as center for some reason. And now let's scan her in the home uniforms. What is this, Mario Sunshine?
Let's go quickly over to Dorisburg for an update.
Kevin, I was able to speak with Scott Styles for just a moment.
Unfortunately, he allowed him to score, so that's...
And it's their opponent's abilities to change and alter and block shots. To counter this, they hope to spread the floor early by knocking down some perimeter shots and see if that frees up the middle. Kevin, can they make shots? That's the question.
Wonderful stuff, Doris. Thanks. What approach to use against the opposing D, I guess, in the front of their lines, it sounds like, right? Yeah, well, it's a tall task when you take on a team as sound defensively as they are, so you just have to be sharp in your execution. Steve? Yeah, you got to be sharp, but you also have
no, as he committed the turnover, so good job, Sallie Mae.
Take control of you, and all of a sudden, they'll have control of the game. You know, Raymond's double was a big story with his breakout season last year, but the good news for the Bobcats was that DJ Augustine stepped into the starting role, and his numbers went up really across the board. Delfino with the steal. Excellent steal.
And there we down you go. Thank you for missing.
The Bobcats take it the other way. And Steve, for DJ Augustine, a nice bounce back here after regressing somewhat in his second season. Well, of course, the Bobcats, as Clark mentioned, handed him the job after Raymond Felton left. But Augustine's a nice player. He doesn't have the physical size and speed to be an elite player, but he's very skilled. He can shoot it, he can handle the ball well, and he can really initiate the offense. And blocked. Bucks trail by 5.
And so far, Sallie Mae has no kills yet here. So when is Sallie Mae going to get on the score sheet?
For 3, Jackson misses. And the Bobcats have it. And you know, guys, last season the expectations for Milwaukee were really high.
but they just couldn't live up to those hopes. They won only
Sorry.
all year. You can't win on the road. You can't really be a successful NBA team. I like that. Run to the three-point line, find a wide-open shot.
Here comes Augustine.
Someone give Sally Mae the ball. Come on, she's open.
The Magic in Orlando. And here's
Excuse me. Should have passed it.
Tough entry pass there. Too much traffic in the lane.
Here is Jennings. Back to Jackson. Latrey. And again, Milwaukee with the triple. Back to the Bucks. You know, Clark, you'd better play well on the road if you want to make the play.
Yeah, that's a must. I mean, you got to be really solid and good at home and then respectable on the road. And the Bucks only won a third of its road games, and that's a definite way to be watching the playoffs.
We just said 13.
And there's Sally Mae. She's done for the half with the Bobcats having a 3-point lead here.
Bobcats out in front, leading by 3. 36.
There goes Rufus the Bobcat there. That's a random name for a mascot. So now let's see what the games are on later tonight. Going on.
For Minnesota, a loss to the 76ers in Philadelphia. 4 points ended up being the difference in that one. The bulk of the scoring came from Michael Beasley. And another one of the games that went
up there's Trevor Lewis's team.
It was Danny Granger leading them in scoring. And now here's what's going on in the rest of the association.
Did Green Lightning's team beat the Lakers, really?
At Phillips Arena. 6 points is the difference. They're up in the third. That's it for us now. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you enjoy the second half.
Epic.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so
See,
far.
there's Rufus wearing number 6 for some reason. And there's Sally Mae. That's the only thing she's known for now is being a lazy. Now she's in as power forward, okay?
Oh, here is Red. Light covering. Dribbling with it. On the best to Ilyasova. 6 on the shot clock. Let's go. And the Bucks miss again.
They're really getting the work done inside with their rebound. Yeah, not giving up too many second chance opportunities, which is always important. And that's been one of the reasons they have the lead right now.
Setting the floor for the Bucks. Udrich out there with Dooley. And it's Michael Red. Then there's Carlos Delfino. And it's Ilyasova in at the 5, roaming the paint.
I swear, Sally Mae has to be really ticked off right now. She wanted the ball, and yet it's not happening.
With the assist that time.
That's 9 straight points coming off 3 3-pointers. The defense just getting shelled. Steve, the threes are killing them. I think they've got to find a way to chase them off the 3-point line.
He feeds it to Temple.
Really? Give it to... Thank you! Jeez.
Here's the beast.
There's Sally, and she misses, but good shot selection there. So, at least she finally gets a shot in this game.
Defense, tough-mindedness, fundamentals are going to be demanded. That was a formula to work for the Bucks in their playoff run in 2010. They need to find some offense now.
It's also nice that the Bucks are going back to the original colors. And did someone? Thank you. Will Sally get her first basket? She does lose the ball, but she does get it back.
Here's the beast. Puts up the baby hook.
Oh, close, but no cigar again.
Back to Skiles. Unfortunately, last year they were just okay in those areas. But Steve, they just...
And there's a good shot defense right there. So.
They were very good defensively, Kevin, but they just could not score. And I think
So
that's
Sally
the
Mae
challenge
is
this
doing a
year
good
for
job
the
at
Bucks.
defense.
If they
They don't
get
really
back in the
back off for a
playoffs, they've got to
pass.
find a way to get easy baskets offensively.
There's Sally Mae continuing, but she will pass it as she will give it to Temple. As Temple scores.
It's good. 5 points in the game.
They respect him out there. He can hit that shot.
As
Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
And that was a case of shot blocking. Protection at the rim, so important in this game. And I thought that was the key in that one. Absolutely, Steve. I mean, the rejection committee...
Battle of the sevens. Battle of the lucky sevens there. Well, Sally Mae is unlucky. As look at this, as McGuire goes in and scores. No, he misses.
You know, Kevin, another serious concussion suffered by Carlos Delfino last season, and as a result, he had to miss 36 games. That hurt the Bucks.
Here's Jackson, and he cruises to the hoop for the layup. Jackson's got 8.
Yeah, not just an everyday finish. He put a little pizzazz on that one, guys.
There's Sally, and she will score. There's her first bucket in the NBA.
Blows over the course of a couple days. He was in some dire straits there for a while. I mean, this March 36 games.
Yeah, he suffered from post-concussion syndrome for about 2 months. A lot of people were worried whether he'd be able to play basketball again. So great to see him back out on the court and healthy again.
And the basket by Bogut.
You know, if their plan was to keep going inside a ton, it sure has paid off. I mean, it seems like every bucket they get is in the lane. Well, no reason to take
There's Sally, and she gets blocked. Ugh. And there's no way Sally's gonna get there in time.
Yep.
Now Jennings backs down the step back Jay. And now it's only a 5-point pop.
And that is it. At the end of the third quarter, the Bobcats lead 53.
Plenty of offense as we head to the fourth quarter. More great action when we return.
At the end of the third, the Bobcats lead 53-48. Now it's time for a commercial break. Or November 8th.
Coming up next Tuesday, Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder go up against the New York Knicks, the East against the West. Don't miss it.
Bobcats lead 86-53.
You know, Clark, every team has a bad night.
So Sally Mae gets one skill point. Okay, there's no there. And she gets no turnovers. Now starts the press conference.
Easy win for you guys tonight. Did you see that one coming?
Yeah, man. I thought it was pretty clear the second I stepped out on the court. I make teams win, baby. Always have, always will. When you're born a winner, that kind of thing just happens all the time. At this point in my life, it's like clockwork. I expect to win no matter what I'm competing in. And tonight was no different. You saw the result. You want to disagree with me?
Alright. So now that we heard from Sally Mae, and now it's not, we don't have enough time to put in the skill points here. Now I'm gonna prove a point here. Look Far Away is our next skill game. That's the 26th of December. So, for the sake of progress, we're gonna play the next game as we play Max's team. I know the next episode will be the Hornets showdown. Will be the first showdown against the Hornets. So I'm sorry I'm playing every game here because right now as Charlotte continues to keep winning here, as you can see, this is going to be a not so easy showdown as they're taking on Max Power's team, the Memphis Grizzlies. As Max is in the FedEx Forum here, I scanned this. I will scan this in the near. I'll do the Max Series Saturday, and we will. Wait, you know what? We're playing this right now, so I can scan this right now.
Hi and Segment number 1. Thanks for joining us. Kevin Harlan here with Steve Curry, Clark Kellogg. It's Saturday night in the NBA on 2K Sports. Back in Memphis, the Grizzlies tip off the beginning of a homestand. And this matchup with the Bobcats. It's their first meeting of the season. Home court advantage played a part in last year's season series. Each team took their home game in a 1-1 split.
Yeah, and you look back to last year, these two teams were very evenly matched. They split the two games that they played.
So now it's 11:11, so it's time to scan this arena here. There's their scoreboard again. Just like the one in Miami. It's humongous. There's how many titles do the Grizzlies have? None. There should be a banner of them upsetting the Spurs. So Sally Mae's in center as
Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Lionel Allen. And Doris, what'd you find out?
Yes, guys, he told me, I want to dare them to bring the ball inside against us today. We're going to pressure them on the perimeter and force them to come inside against our shot blockers. He's got a lot of confidence in those guys down low, gentlemen.
Thanks, Doris. Well, guys, give us your thoughts on that.
Well, you know what? I think the game plan for a lot of teams, really good teams, starts with good D. So it's pretty much what I expected to hear.
And for this club,
as there's Sally Mae.
they need to send a message
I guess the coach, Coach Styles told her, get the ball to Sally Mae. And that's what happens.
Going back for a second to your comments, Steve, and the standoff these teams played to last year, it may have been an indicator of how closely matched the teams in the middle of both conferences were.
Well, we know these two teams were certainly closely matched.
And that one's good by Gay.
And darn it, Rudy Gay.
Well done, finishing that one off.
And note they're still talking as Dwight is open of trading to the Lakers here. But at this point, can they make the move already, please? I'm tired of waiting. And there's Augustine. Goal.
Augustine's got 6 points.
Well, I think last year when the Bobcats traded Gerald Wallace, they lost part of their soul and their identity. And it's tough to win when you lose a guy like that. But they did get a couple of draft picks, and that will help them in this rebuilding process.
And Clark, back to that trade Steve was just talking about. We both like Gerald Wallace a great deal. But that's, I think, what was the key.
As Sally Mae's been moved to power forward.
You knew the Bobcats were starting to look to the future.
Yeah, starting to do an about face, and those draft picks will help them not only get more talent, but also get a little younger as well. And it's not going to be easy, it never is, but I think they're headed in the right direction.
Zach Randolph's checked in for the Grizzlies.
Guys, I don't think there's any question about it. It was the best season in Grizzlies franchise history last season. I mean, a team that was 0-12 in the playoffs, had never won a playoff game, upsets the top-seeded Spurs in really convincing fashion. It was clear they were really difficult.
Rudy Gay. Jeez, we gotta watch him. But hey, Max gets a good teammate in Rudy Gay.
That man is sick.
I don't know, Clark. He looks pretty healthy to me.
Oh, come on, Clark.
Grizzlies with the rebound.
I'll tell you what, Mike Conley got that big extension from Memphis last season. They made a major commitment to him as their starting point guard in the future. And he's really gotten better.
Once they get rid of Rudy Gay, but we don't need him because the Lakers got Steve Nash. And there's DJ, and oh, that would have been a great assist.
Here's the break. And it's sent back by Thomas. And they keep possession. Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession.
And there's Sally Mae. That's the end of the half with the Grizzlies up by 7. So it's now time for HP at the half.
Your Grizzlies, 47. And it's a good one going out in Memphis. Glad to have you with us for our halftime show presented by HP. A lot in the NBA to catch up on. Let's check it out as we go around the league.
Out
out at Prudential Center. The Nets with the win
Whoa,
over
where did
Pistons.
the
Didn't
Nets
run into
come
much
from?
resistance, ran away with it. And another one of the games that went final,
Again,
the
not a big
Wizards
surprise.
over at Verizon Center, losing to the Magic. They just could not come up even close. They fell apart. And now we'll look at the other NBA action. New York leading against the Bucks at
There's the
Barclays
Rockets
Center.
who made a
They're in
good
the
run
fourth,
for
and it looks
Trevor.
like they'll be popping this one into cruise control. That'll do it for us here. We'll go back now to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke for the start of the third quarter.
The second half just about to get going here.
So now here's as Sally Mae makes her triumphant return back onto the court. In as power forward.
He dishes it to Temple.
As there you see Sally make a great move here as she will try to make a move as she'll pass it and ooh! And a great pass to McGuire, and that gets Sally Mae's teammate right up as do not commit a turnover. Well, she hasn't committed a turnover in this entire episode yet, so I don't be surprised if you don't see.
Arthur out there with Leon Poe, then it's Mayo, then it's Shane Battier, and it's Young in at the shooting guard. Battier kicks to Arthur. The shot no good. Now the Bobcats take it the other way. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
And I thought the most impressive part of that win, other than the final score, was just the way they shared the ball offensively.
Well, exactly, Steve. I mean, everybody.
And now to the free throw line.
In 2010, Charlotte made the playoffs, but it wasn't because of their play on the road, and their poor performance in that department carried into last season.
More on Charlotte. Both years just winning 13 wins in 41 road games.
And you don't give yourself a lot of room for error to make the playoffs when you play that poorly on the road. That means you have to be almost perfect at home.
With this season, they weren't perfect. That cost their coach to lose his job.
Battier's got 6 points. Cats trail by 7. There's the pick. And here's White. Picked up by Battier. 6 to shoot. Shoots the 3. They get it again.
And they miss.
Gets it to go.
Well, they score.
Bruce Miller's got his 3rd basket of the night.
And I think whichever team starts to dominate the glass could really take control of this game.
I won't disagree with you. I mean, it's so tight between these teams right now on the board that you're just waiting to see which team might pull away.
It was a tough year last season for O.J. Mayo. He was bumped from the starting lineup. He was suspended for a period of time. He ended up on the bench for Memphis, but he did have some good games as a reserve. He'll want to really
and there's O.J. Now he's with the... It was a conversation of him joining the Lakers, but instead he joined the Mavericks. So I wish him the greatest of luck there in Dallas.
Yeah, very aggressive, too. Keeping the defense off balance with their ball movement. I like the way they look.
Here's Temple. With 1 on the clock. And he didn't quite get enough under that one. Steve just talking about Mayo Clark. It really was a roller coaster year for him.
Yeah, it was a lot of speed bumps, if you will, ups and downs, but a lot of different issues. Part of it, a young player adjusting to the demands of being a pro on and off the court, but there's clearly plenty of talent and a great.
And there's a good shot defense there as he gets a C+.
Here is McGuire, defended by Young.
And free throw time.
Give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Here's what Memphis has lined up on their schedule. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home.
Seriously, I'm pressing the A button and yet it's... There we go. And McGuire shoots and scores, and that's it for Sally as the Grizzlies beat the Bobcats 94-71. So he completes all 2 objectives and a dynamical. So this should just about do it for this episode. So now it is time. So now let's go to the press conference, so I can wrap up this episode.
Obviously the team didn't bring it tonight. How does the way you prepare for the next game change after a loss like
Yeah? Okay.
It really doesn't change at all. We can't let one bad game affect the way we go about things. We just got to come into the next game like this never happened and execute like we know we're capable of doing. It's as simple as that, really. If you get too focused in on the results of the last game, you can end up changing things entirely every time you lose. And we're much better off sticking to what we know works, even if it doesn't get us the win every single time. You feel me?
Alright, so that's just about do it. Come back next time as Sally Mae continues her NBA career. Later, folks.